Are you a rich man? You have a lot of possessions? A lot of money in the bank?
Position make you rich? I don't have that type of richness. My richness is life.
All along it was a fever.
What's up, guys? I'm Chase Hess. Today we're going to do a quick little review over the Storm S2 by Rix and their Pocket K2 scanner. We're going to talk about some of the details and specs of both of them, and then we'll get into some hunts, so let's get after it. So, I talked about I hunt in a lot of open country, and one thing that really surprised me with these thermals, which is you don't hardly hear it talked about very much, is how much it helped me day hunting. I do a lot of day hunting in open country, and it blew me away when I had a second person with me scanning with the thermal how many coyotes I was missing. I was missing a ton of coyotes. A lot of times in my spots I can see, 1,000 or 800 or 600 yards, and it's kind of sagebrush, and there'd be a coyote sitting over here on the hillside at 300 yards or 400 yards just blending in, as the sun goes down. It's kind of got that gray look to it, where if the sun's not beaming on them, they blend in. And they were picking them out with these thermals instantly. Picking out 5 coyotes before I see one. It just makes me wonder how many coyotes that I have been missing over the years on my day stands because I wasn't using a thermal. And it seemed like the best way to do it is one person scan with a thermal while the other watches in front of you. And it blew me away how many coyotes we've seen. And even the coyotes that were obvious, not obvious, but coyotes that were within 200 yards. We had a coyote inside a creek. His head was just popped up on the creek. And Kelsey was like, hey, there's a coyote right there. And I'm like, where? And right in front of us. His head's popping up over that creek, and it's a creek. It's got brush and stuff. And it took us 20 or 30 seconds of bickering. And finally, sure enough, there's this coyote checked up with just his head sticking up over the creek. I was getting ready to get up and turn off the call. I was done with the stand. I would have never seen that coyote, and a thermal picked that coyote out in broad daylight. So, tech tip right there. Pretty darn cool stuff. So you will be seeing that more on Daywalker TV. I promise you, these thermals, there's going to be more of them during the daylight. Been awesome products for me so far. I hunt some really open country up here, and at first I was like, man, they're both I think a 256 resolution, and I thought, man, I don't know if that's, I hunt some, I can see 2,000 yards sometimes, and it really wasn't that big of an issue at all. Even at 400 or 500 yards, I could tell what was a coyote, I could tell what was a deer. And really, honestly, I don't want to shoot them out past a couple hundred yards anyway in the dark, just because it's hard to find them, So I figured that out pretty quick. So I'm going to throw out some stats for each of them for you guys real quick before we get into watching some hunts. So first up here is the S2. Get a good look at it. Man, super compact. I love the Picatinny rail attachment right there. It's so fast. And I noticed, I could pop it on and off. I could side it in, pop it right off, pop it right back on. It was no issue, and it would pretty much stay sided in, which was really fantastic. So it's got a 3.5 by 7 by 14 zoom. Picture-in-picture is at 7 power. It's where you can see the target, but it's got a little box too that kind of zooms in on the reticle. And then it's 256 resolution. Obviously, it can record and do all that jazz. The color options are white hot, black hot, red hot in color. The 18650 batteries, I really like those. Both of them take these these same batteries, you know, they both come with chargers, but these little batteries, they're all interchangeable, and they last a long time. I mean, you know, hours and hours and hours. So that really was great for being out in the field. It really wasn't an issue having a power problem. Obviously, they have USB ports on the side for if you want to plug them into the computer or whatever. S2 also came with a target made for thermals, which was really nice. So some of the other things this comes with here, this S2 comes with a really nice cover right here. You know, obviously the charger, all the easy to follow instructions, super easy to follow. I mean, it took me minutes and I had this thing ready to rock. They both have Wi-Fi options, super easy to download the footage off of them. It's just you connect to your Wi-Fi, it connects to your phone, super easy. Everything was so easy. This was my first thermal ever. I've used some really high-end thermals too with friends, but this was my first thermal that I really got to review, and I was really impressed with it, especially for the price point. You can't almost beat it, you know. I think they're getting ready to do a Black Friday sale right here. And it's going to be even cheaper for both of them, but I think normally the S2 runs about $1,000 and the K2, Pocket K2 is like $500. It's pretty hard to beat. We killed some coyotes at 400 yards with that S2, and for the price, it's like, man, you know, unless you're just super hardcore and you want to buy the really expensive stuff, I get it. But I mean, if you're just want an extra thermal laying around for a backup buddy or one that you just want to use, it's a great option. I mean, it really was. It ended up being way better than I thought it would be. You know, I really enjoyed this unit. It was super compact, small. It just fits right in your backpack. You can pop it in, pop it out. You can scan with it, just like a scanner. There were a couple times where we seen coyotes. You know, like I said, I hunt some pretty open country, and there were coyotes like hiding behind bushes, bedded, kind of standing around, and I could tell there was an animal there, and we cut the distance on them. You know, we would have never known there was a coyote there, and got within that 100 yards, started that call, zipped them right over to us. So pretty impressed for the price point of this thermal. You get an eye for the movement of the animal, you know, how a coyote kind of scurries and how a deer just walks, and you'd be surprised how far you can pick. I mean, I was seeing coyotes at 600 yards, and I could tell it was a coyote and not a deer. Sometimes maybe even a little further. So pretty darn cool. As long as it's some pretty short grass and wide open canyons, it does a pretty good job. So let's talk about the K2 real quick. You want to talk about a handy little tool. It's the size of a rangefinder. It's got a little focus right here. Here's the battery port, super easy. I love this. Right there. You can hide that lens, protect it, slide it back up, pop it in your pocket, pull it out, just like a rangefinder. And this thing is super cool. So it's kind of the same way. We'll go over some of the specs on it real quick. It's 256 resolution, 1 to 4 times zoom. We went over the screen protector, has Wi-Fi. Just the same thing, you know, super handy, super easy to follow on the instructions. Comes with a real handy little Rix neck strap here. It's pretty cool. All the instructions, super easy to follow once again. Really like that. It's in a nice little pouch, and also, you know, it does exactly what it's intended to do. It's just made for a quick little scan. You know, it doesn't zoom quite as far as the bigger S2, but man, for just standing there and scanning, and I can tell something oh, there's a coyote, there's something over there, and then I'll get on it with the bigger thermal. Man, you'd be surprised, even though it's a small little compact 256, it was pretty darn handy. I used it all the time. Love carrying it. I carry it like everywhere I go, I swear now. So it's just so awesome to have a quick little thermal ready to rock and roll. So we'll get into some hunts, so let's get after it. All right, we got some of the different image modes. Here's white hot mode. We got some black hot right here. Some red hot. And some color. Just plain red. Alright, gonna play with some contrast settings next. Got some different reticle sizes here we can choose from as well. And we can pick some different colors on the reticles. And we can go through the screen brightness. Here we can turn the Wi-Fi on, zero the scope, access the system information system. Alright, here we got the Pocket K2 looking at the same tree line, same tree. Gonna go through the same settings. Pretty cool, it's got a weather mode right there where you can choose whether it's sunny or rainy. Pretty cool feature. Still the Pocket K2 here. It's just a tree in my yard, and I'm going to look down my driveway, and I can see pretty far down there. It's probably 300 yards to the end of my driveway.
There's a deer. See, there's the road. Oh, there's another deer right there. Huh. Oh, that's freaking cool. They're right out here in front of me. They're still far away.
My good buddy Eric's on the S2 here. I'm just scanning with the K2.
Oh shit. I'm gonna shoot him. He's running. They checked out. Oh, they're coming down the hill on the other side.
These coyotes are well over 300 yards coming right now.
They're right. Look at my hand. They're right there. They're down on the bottom. Okay, they're crossing. They're down in
Kelsey's on the gun.
right in front
I'm
of
sure
us.
it won't take long before we get one down.
Maybe 400 yards, 300 yards. You see him? Okay, they're coming. They're maybe 300 yards right in front of us. They're one. howling. Let me record.
We got another one out here a couple 100 yards out. Kelsey's about to make quick work of him.
And he still looks. Yeah. Okay. Hey, you might do a howl. Okay, never mind. Just pause it, whatever. See if he stops. Ready? You good?
Kelsey's got another one several 100 yards out. Makes quick work.
Okay.
What is it? Very big? Oh, really? Not bad.
You start recording.
Now we got a longer shot about 400 yards out.
How far is he now? Here we go. No way. 400.
Got another one at about 200.
248 yards. Now, if we can find him, you got it still. Okay. Look at this. Look at this. We just parked the truck right there. We walk over this pond dam. There's a coyote standing here at 90 yards. She smokes it. While we're talking about the what was it called again? Aurora Borealis. We're taking pictures. And then I look over to the left. She said she's seen one running. He stops out there at 250. Smoke him.
Eric's on the gun again, and once again, super hot, super humid weather during the summer.
Oh, that was awesome! Oh, that was awesome!
Yeah.
Thumped him. Hey, I seen him coming from the left. I looked past you with this and I seen him freaking hopping and I was like, oh. Hey, that suppressor was cool, man.
I don't know how to zoom this thing back. I'm getting pretty close on it. Pretty cool. Yeah.
Whew, he's stinky. He's a little stinky.
I think it's pretty heavy current.
Yeah. He ain't a bad one, is he? It was about right at 100 yards probably, huh?
It's pretty close, yeah.
Yeah. Man, he came flying in from the left. I seen him hopping, and I was trying to tell you, but it's hard in the dark, you know. Figuring everything out. I'm like, oh, you got a coyote coming that way. Pretty cool.